So today we will look about Divya Deshmukh and Humpy Koneru's game. It was an Armageddon game. It was about World Cup final game, and this was the decisive game. Rest all games were kind of draw. So Humpy with white pieces starts with d4, d5, c4. So this is the opening phase. So we will just go along with that. So it's a Catalan. Here it's interesting to see that as a beginner we always think let's take the bishop and let's double the pawns, but it's not the way, because if you just take it, you are giving a great pawn chain in front of white, and also not to mention it also have the another two pawns, so it's kind of risky for black, for white. Yeah, so this was the moment where I was thinking, okay, now the plan for white should be very much simple, where the knight will be placed on this square because this pawn is supporting, and let's say I will play e3. So in a way my bishop will also get activated. I will double up my rooks in any of the file. My queen is well placed, so it's a great position for me. And also, how will black develop this knight? That's the important question. So yeah, this was the plan for me, but as the game progresses, as you can see, knight is on the c5 square, takes, and here the opponent takes the bishop, which was completely not very familiar to me, because as a beginner chess player I also thought, okay, you are just allowing this knight to come to a6 and then to this square b4. So from here the queen can be attacked, also the knight is well defended, and also you have nothing like where you can attack that knight. So I was kind of very much confused. The game progresses. Now the moment white play rook a1, I thought this weak pawn will be the target for white, because the gameplay has been changed. Now the question is, this knight is kind of dumb because he can't go forward, so he have to go here and maybe come here. This might be a square which knight is aiming for, and if let's say knight is well placed here, so this bishop won't do anything much on this diagonal, right? So this might be the one of the idea, but in this process of transferring the knight and doing this stuff, black might lose a pawn here. So black have to focus on kindly defending that pawn, and just white just built a great defense, and as we can say, that's the entire plan for black, to defend this pawn as well as to place a knight on d5 in order to blunt this bishop. Knight comes, queen goes there. Now the game is kind of revolving around the fact, because black has this pawn. If black loses this pawn, there might be anything new setup, because black is currently pawn up, and if black loses this pawn, the game is draw. It's for sure. And from here we can say the knight, both rooks and the queen, four pieces are attacking that pawn right now, and right now three are defending. So here I was thinking, here I thought, okay, knight takes b6 is kind of somewhat kind of forced, because if I am not taking the knight, then my knight will be taken if I will save the rook. So it's kind of fork, right? So I have to take it. And after takes, queen c3, okay. again the same idea of black have this dream square of coming to d5. Okay, there was no another option other than to take it, but the computer doesn't like that move much. Now you can't even take that pawn because that knight which was kind of placed here, right? So it was attacking it, and due to the fact you can take that pawn, but right now you can't take it because the amount of attackers and the amount of defenders are equal. So from here the computer is showing 0.0, and we as a human also feel here this is a draw position because there's nothing which we can do in order to make any kind of progress. But Divya Deshmukh have some another plans tonight, so she started maneuvering her queen and on, and there was a time where she just realized a blunder made by Humpy, and this was the blunder. And I don't know what was her plan, but it's just kind of bounced back because she was in completely draw position and then she just lost another pawn. Now Divya has 2 pawns, but then too it will require a computer level precision in order to convert this endgame, and Divya almost just blundered it to another draw scenario. But the game went on and on. She traded the queens, also traded one pair of rooks in order to destabilize the structure of black, so that the white king can come up and just eat some pawns, so that extra pawn might not be of that useful. But as the game progresses, Humpy just allowed that a5 pawn to push it to a4, a3, and the rook now is being tied up only to secure that pawn won't reach a1. And meanwhile the white king is doing nothing, but it is also been cut off from the third rank, and it's very dangerous position. And by moving steps, there were many of the mistakes which would not be very easier for Divya or Humpy to continue also, but eventually the game ended where Humpy just lost all her pawn, and the Divya's pawn was kind of great because now if what can opponent do, right? Let's say there's nothing like a check also in this position. So here Humpy just lost the game as well as lost the gold medal.